It is the Riot Podcast. Welcome to your Wednesday show, or whenever day you might be listening. Hudson, Nikki, Isaiah here with you. And, we've got a full show for you, I'm assuming.
I feel
Isaiah.
like you got some good options today, guys.
Yeah, there's some good stuff. We start off with what's probably the longest pizza delivery of all time because it's going to space.
They better tip well.
Yeah.
And it's the one type where you're like, it's even a kit. So it's like, it's not technically like they're doing it for you.
Well, what if it's like some of those Joe Corby's? Those could be pretty good sometimes.
Well, you have to assemble it on your own.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. And
but
again,
you are in space, so if you got up there, you're smart enough.
And you're just happy for any pizza
Anything
at all, too. Yeah.
Good one.
We also talk about how hard it's going to be to go to the store because it was hard enough picking Mountain Dew, but now it's like a whole nother level because there's alcoholic Mountain Dew.
You have to double check every can before you open it, before you purchase it. You don't want to pick the wrong one and get a DUI or something.
You want to be very safe about
An open container, that will be bad news on your record.
Well, yeah, and even if you're at home, a lot of people, if you have like the section of the fridge for like the older people, but then if you are not yet 21 or something, and you're like, oh, what's this new flavor?
Ooh, it's got a bear on it.
It does.
This must be a radical new energy drink
I think
for
we're
me.
all just being trained because there's so many flavors for so many beverages that aren't alcoholic, but yet, you're like, oh, you just assume, hey, it's a new limited flavor.
Yeah, it's hard to keep it all straight for sure.
I think it's going to be like the older people that like are really struggling with like the 50 or 60 year olds. They're like, oh, more just Mountain Dew, grabbing it, and they're going to like just be slugging them.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen? Everything's a TikTok, but the one the girl went home for like Christmas or something, or she was just home from classes, and her mom, who was like never drank a drop in her whole life, was bought packs of White Claws and was like, this stuff is great. And she thought it was just like just a boutique sort of seltzer drink. And she had to tell her mom, like her mom was drinking like 2 or 3 a night. Oh, no. She had developed a problem at that point, and the mom had no idea it was alcoholic.
Mom, you're acting a lot different.
Yeah.
You're so much more relaxed in the evenings.
You're a little on edge, though.
Yeah. It's like your mom wine thing. But with that.
And then we wrap up the show by talking about tomorrow morning's plans and if we are going to remember the meteor shower.
Oh, that's right.
Isaiah, you're going to be up early. Are you going to see the meteor shower?
I'm going to try to, if I remember. At that point in time, I feel like my brain like just forgets everything.
You're just trying to get here.
I'm just trying to arrive and like just start working to where if there's anything else going on, I typically don't remember it.
Well, I feel like it's a life lesson to teach us to look up.
Yep.
Because we're always just looking down at our phones.
Yeah, exactly.
Even when walking in the building.
Well, the good news is, I'm sure if we miss watching the meteor shower live, we can just rewatch the highlights online.
I know you could.
And that'll be just as good.
It's not just tomorrow, but I think it's Friday morning as well.
Yeah,
but,
so we got 2 chances.
We'll see what happens.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess that's the podcast. So I guess we will.
Oh, hang on there.
Hang on, because that's the podcast. But we are going to be on the RadioU Riot Facebook page for a Kit Kat after show today.
We're doing
so you're
that.
going to want to join us for that.
Yeah, so when you're done with the podcast, head over to RadioU Riot on Facebook. Make sure you're following it already, or RadioU Riot on YouTube. Watch that. We got a lot of extra stuff on Friday with some bands coming in, so it'll be a busy morning. So lots of fun videos to catch up on.
We should get the day off tomorrow.
Oh, in between?
Yeah, since they've been so busy the rest of the week.
I'll tell you what. Why don't we take Saturday off?
Okay. All right. Well, and we've got each our own various days off next week. So.
Oh, yeah, coming up.
Except Isaiah.
Nope.
I'm here every day.
Yay!
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I guess you could see this survey of dog owners that was done in the UK. You could see it as either a very sweet look at how close we all feel to our pets, or it could be a real look in the mirror about how fractured our relationships are with,
With
the ones we love most. We say we love most anyways.
Why don't Hudson? We just think it's the first one.
We want the positive.
I think so.
But we have a study. It was conducted actually by the lotto in the UK, like Lotto Land, their
Their
like
lottery?
lottery. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What an odd one to be doing.
There's
Unless
some.
you think of it as, wow, you really struck the lottery, like you won
You
it.
won it
If
by
you have a good dog.
getting a dog. Yeah.
that you feel like you can talk to.
Yeah, they have some, lottery thing they're tying it in with. But who cares about that? We're not in the UK, and we're not going to gamble. So let's talk about the survey instead, where they studied 2,000 canine owners, and they found that 80% consider their dog to be a better listener than their loved ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aww.
That's all perception right there, I guess, because we don't know if your dog really is listening. You could be
they
going.
are.
You don't know.
Nope,
You don't know.
Nope. They absolutely are.
I know it feels like they're listening,
They
and
are.
that's what's most important.
Because see, the side of this is your dog is listening when you need them to.
Mm-hmm.
But especially Rolo, hello, you and your anxiety disorder, you are not listening when I'm telling you stuff to do. But when I am in a moment of emotion myself, he's always there for me.
You can always vent to Rolo,
I
but
can.
just don't try to make him listen to instructions because he's not going to listen.
He's not going to listen to me tell him to stop looking out the window and barking at everything that walks by.
Yep, I feel you right there.
But they absolutely listen.
We don't know if they're actually really listening, but it feels like they're listening, and that's what's important.
That's all we're going by.
If you're in a moment emotionally, you don't need somebody to actually respond. You just need somebody to show that they're listening, and your dog can do it.
I'm not listening to you, Hudson, because I know that my dog does respond. And he is going, tell me about your day. What happened today? What did Hudson tell you?
Please go on more about how Hudson is emotionally beating you down.
And he said, what about us? So I don't think you get it.
Let's see. It also says of the dog owners in a relationship, 37% admit that their dog gets more affection than their partner.
Aw, kisses and cuddles.
More kisses,
Aw.
yeah. That's, again, maybe 37% isn't that bad, but it feels...
Well, they're the ones listening, so.
The dogs are available, too. They'll come and cuddle you, so...
Aw, that's really sweet.
Yeah, I don't know if... I need to stop looking at this from a bad perspective.
Yeah, it's a nice thing.
Yeah, the dogs, it's just showing how much we love our dogs. It's not saying that our relationships are in peril because we love our dogs more than our husband or wife or significant other. Is it? No. Is it saying that?
It's not saying that at all. It's just saying don't feel bad if you go home and you go and get comfort from your little fuzzy friend.
It is good in a relationship, I guess, that dogs, that's something you and your partner can connect with, too, where you both feel like you can confide, and then the dog has all of the secrets.
It's like your little doggy therapist for
Yeah.
your relationship.
That's all we all need is just, we don't need expensive therapy. We don't need medical professionals.
Hey, your pet's expensive enough.
Yeah.
So it is like you're putting that
Right.
money towards that.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
Did you see the space launch yesterday, Nikki?
What did they launch?
They launched a rocket.
Ooh, is
Yeah.
people in it? Was it just a rocket?
It is a rocket with supplies,
Did it have,
actually, for the International Space Station.
What was it from a week or so ago? The Tic Tacs in it?
Oh, yeah. No, that one was different. That was not in this rocket, but it does have some unique items of its own.
See, you never know what's on these things.
Every day there's some kind of something going to space, and this one is actually more official. This one it's headed for the International Space Station, and it's including 820. Why can I not? I thought I moved on. 8,200 pounds of apples, tomatoes, kiwis, and pizza. Hey!
You get a pizza kit so you can make it there.
Yeah, I wonder how much they had to pay to get this door dashed up there.
That's an expensive
Yeah.
one, but technically it's not just the pizza, it's everything. So
Yeah.
they just put it all there on one tab.
They do say it's 8,200 pounds, but there's no way it's 8,200 pounds of just the food. They do have other stuff going up there, but I don't know the weight of like how it all breaks down.
Oh, sure.
If it's like 1,000 pounds of pizza,
Yeah.
and then the other stuff, or because they also are flying like a mounting bracket for solar wings and material simulating moon dust and
a slime mold.
a slime mold
Wow.
for a French educational experiment called The Blob. That sounds like a problem that a movie will be made out of.
We'll just, the blob will go and eat the pizza first.
Yeah, hopefully it'll start with the pizza
And then
and
not
the
them.
fruit and avoid the actual astronauts themselves.
It'll also have an infrared detecting device that's used as a prototype for future tracking of satellites in space.
Oh, it's got it all. 82,000. If I was an astronaut, I would hope that most of that shipment is just the pizza.
I know,
Who
you're
cares about that other stuff?
So wait, so when they send it up, is it like astronaut pizza or is it a pizza making kit? Like you get to.
It says it's a kit, so it's not pre-made. I just picture the Lunchables. You know? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so it's not like you can't bake pizza in space.
Well, yeah, I don't think they have an oven, do they?
I don't think
They don't
so.
even have a microwave.
Well, maybe there's an oven in the thing.
82,000 pounds.
Yeah.
820.
Stop
No.
trying to tell numbers.
I can't do it.
Stop it.
8,000. We'll just say about 8,000 pounds.
I think I know in my limited knowledge of space that you can't be baking up there.
No.
So you're right. It must be like the Lunchables kit where it's all cold and stuff.
If you had an oven and you put a pizza in it, it would just be floating around in there, so it would wind up hitting the heating element or something.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And
maybe it's like one of those outside spaceship brick oven, like the ones when you go to the restaurant, they're outside and they just shove it in, and
so they put
shove
it out of the space station.
And they just kind of weight it
floating
down.
there. They have to suit up and get the tether thing so that they can cook the pizza.
Now, if I was with NASA, I'd be like, let's get a pizza oven up there. And they're like, no, we can't. Can we go closer to the sun then and just put it outside and let it cook up? Like, it'll warm up in no time.
It's probably why they sent so much fruit, because it doesn't that doesn't require any cooking.
Yeah, you need some fresh food. So that's being sent up.
I'm imagining, though, too, because I think for the majority of their food, it is dehydrated and then they just add water or something to it. So I think when they get these fresh shipments, that's like a treat because it's coming straight from Earth. It doesn't have to hold in space. So the apples will actually be fresh, but I don't know. Also, why couldn't you send fresh apples up there? You wouldn't need to dehydrate them because there's no bacteria in space, right? So the apples would be fine forever. Listen, it's like they're constantly in the fridge.
That's why NASA's like, they want us on the team.
Yeah, because we're figuring this whole time. Wait a minute.
The next shipment, they're like, we could have done that.
Why have we been dehydrating the apples the whole time? We didn't need to.
We could have done something else.
There's no bacteria in space.
So that's going to
except for the blob.
The International Space Station. So they're getting a fresh food and a pizza kit delivery.
Well, good for them.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. RadioU.
Taking the internet by storm yesterday, the new flavors of Mountain Dew, and they're alcoholic.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
How can we take this up another level?
They've run out of different flavors of regular Mountain Dew, and so now they're like the only possible way forward to continue with the brand is to come up with alcoholic Mountain Dew.
So I saw the art for it, and it looks exactly like you think it would.
Yeah, it totally does. It has a very
White Claw / Mountain Dew look.
It looks like remember Affliction T-shirts that used to be a thing. You know?
I don't. Does it look like that?
Like the UFC MMA bro type attire.
I don't think I do.
Really?
No.
Well, that's exactly what they look like to me, and which feels like a target audience. You know, you crank a bunch of I don't know what kind of term that is. I don't know. You chug a bunch of hard Mountain Dews, crush them. That's what I was looking for.
There it is.
You crush a bunch of hard Mountain Dews, and then you settle in to watch Uriah Hall or whatever the current UFC guy is on a Saturday night. They're going to be releasing coming up next year. So you have to plan ahead, and they're teaming with Boston Beer Company, which makes Sam Adams and Truly Hard Seltzer. And I mean, just a million, all the Angry Orchard hard cider. So they make all kinds of alcohol. So you can trust them to take care of your hard Mountain Dew.
To take care of the Mountain Dew stuff. They're going to do classic black cherry and watermelon. Oh, that's good. Jeez. Each of them at least contains 0 sugar.
There you go.
So that's a bonus.
It's a diet option. You don't even have to worry about the calories.
It is something you have to remember because Mountain Dew and stuff, it all looks the same anyways.
Yeah.
So it's very hard. You have to pay attention, and I'm sure they'll card you anyways. But there was this one TikTok of this lady. She'd been sober for like years and years and years and years, and she went to a party, and they had this alcoholic kombucha or something.
Okay.
And no one knew. And it was a sober party.
Yeah.
But they thought it was just a natural drink, and they didn't see in the very bottom corner that it said contained tiny little print.
Yeah.
And they even had this company had mostly non-alcoholic versions of the same drink that had like the same art on it. So they just were like, wait, what? And I mean, obviously it doesn't count. It doesn't ruin, but everybody was shocked. Like, you look at these things and you got to notice that it's not a new Mountain Dew flavor.
With so many different varieties of Mountain Dew, and they're all like, they got the breakfast version now, like the Rise, which is different from Kickstart, even though they're the same in a way. And it's just like you could so easily, you're going in for your morning breakfast energy drink.
Your morning dew.
Instead, you're like, ooh, look at this new variety. And you go and it's like, why are they carding me? And I guess you could talk yourself into, well, it's just so much energy in it. There's just so much that this is not safe for children. And all of a sudden,
you don't realize.
All of a sudden, you're drinking a watermelon hard Mountain Dew for breakfast.
Did you see?
And that's a crazy way to start your day.
Some of the tweets they featured underneath was, I'm 32 years old. If I try to drink the hard Mountain Dew, I'm pretty sure I'll die. Let's see. This person thought hard Mountain Dew. Next, we'll have spiked Cheetos.
That's true.
Oh, I like the memes of the after drinking one sip of hard Mountain Dew, and it's just some classic people.
Yeah, is it? It feels like, I don't know if that is a picture of Kid Rock, but that's what it feels like.
It does. Yeah, I wondered.
Yeah, Kid Rock out there just strutting.
And they're like, if the new Mountain Dew doesn't include Baja Blast in the future, we ride at dawn.
Yeah, that would be ideal. But I mean, hey, you know what? It's not as if people haven't been making their own hard Mountain Dew for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's some moonshine out there you can mix in.
Oh, some dew shine.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Almost feel it. College football season is drawing closer, and you know it's getting here when you see the top 25 preseason poll come out. This is the coaches poll from USA Today, where they actually consists of votes from college football coaches themselves. And the number one team.
Oh, I thought it was about the coaches.
Which coaches are the best?
Okay, good. So we're not like judging the team. We're judging the coach.
Just the coach.
It's from them. I see.
In some ways, it might as well be. But this year, stop me if this sounds familiar. Number 1, Alabama.
They always are.
Number 2, Clemson. Number 3, Oklahoma. 4, Ohio State. 5, Georgia. I don't think the coaches actually put in votes. They just republish the same poll from the last
copy and
5
paste.
years. Yep, they just copy and paste it. Yep, that's
so
it.
Isaiah, do you feel like that's the common top 5 coach poll?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty typical. I mean, if it had been anything else, I think it would have been much more shocking. There's nothing here that I really disagree with, just because it's so there's so many new players coming in every single year, and that's the huge difference.
Well,
with
how can you
football.
disagree with the coaches anyway?
Exactly. How can you disagree with them? But
well,
so
I think
it's pretty
people,
good.
Disagree with that statement sometimes.
Well, so are you an Ohio State fan, I'm assuming?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So do you feel slighted then that you're not in first?
I don't feel
Didn't even get a
slighted.
first place vote?
We didn't get a single first place vote. Alabama got 63
Whoa.
of the 65.
Yeah.
Oh my God. course.
they kind of dominated that, which was expected. I think it's a pretty fair spot. I mean, you look at us losing Justin Fields and having a brand new quarterback. Oklahoma jumped us there to the 3 spot, but they have a quarterback coming back in Spencer Rattler. It's probably going to be a top 10 pick in the draft this year, so that's kind of why they get the nod there. And then Clemson, they even got to see their brand new quarterback after losing Trevor Lawrence play a little bit last year, and he looked fantastic. So, I mean, there's nothing really to argue about. I mean, before the first week, it really means nothing so far. Once they start playing the games,
it's just too
then
bad
we'll find out
that we're going to have to, like, as fun as it is to watch college football all season, this might as well be the same poll from the final week of the season.
Yes.
Because
these are always the teams.
Because it used to be, like, you don't know. The preseason poll doesn't mean anything. The team that's number 1, they won't wind up. But the last, 5-10 years where it's literally just Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Georgia, and that's always the 5, it does kind of, it kind of harshes the excitement if you're not a fan of one of those 5 teams, or if you're just a fan of things of some variety.
Sure.
Yes.
But so on that note, Isaiah, if you pay attention to college football a lot, do you have a team outside of the top 5 that we can watch out for that might shake it up?
See,
that some of us can be hopeful about getting a different team in the mix?
I hate to say this, but the only teams that are outside of the top 5 that I would consider kind of dangerous, Notre Dame is one. They made, obviously, the college football playoff last year. They're always a dangerous team that you never really know what you're going to get from them, but they do have a really, really strong roster.
Yeah.
And the other one that I love, and this would be such a fun team to root for, just because, number one, their jerseys are phenomenal. They have a beautiful blue, and that's the North Carolina Tar Heels. They have a really, really good quarterback. Who's supposed to be one of the top ones of this season. So he's like kind of the X factor, that their team isn't fantastic, but he's just so darn good that he could carry them into possibly the top 4. I hope they do well, just because it'd be so cool to have a different team in the top 4 or in the top 5. But those are pretty much the only 2 teams outside of the top 10 that, as of right now, I see really threatening any of them.
Yeah, North Carolina would definitely be interesting. And again, they are the main, of not only challenger to Clemson in the ACC. So it'd just be fun to get somebody else in there. Some people are saying Cincinnati, they've got a couple tough games at the beginning of the year. They play Notre Dame and somebody else, like a major school. But if they get through those 2...
Oh, that means Notre Dame's not the major school. No. Now you say that.
They've got Notre Dame and somebody else from a major conference.
It's because the Peacock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is
The Peacock.
But then after that, since they're in a weaker conference, if they get those 2 big wins at the beginning of the year, they got a really good team, and they might be able to kind of skate through and finally shake things up, be one of those outsider schools to get into and they've got a really good quarterback too. So maybe Cincinnati this year.
So that's the coaches poll: Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Ohio State, and Georgia for the top 5.
Yes, and to confirm, yes, that is this year. This isn't a segment from 2018.
It's not 2016.
2017. It's 2021.
Well, at least they don't have to change the graphics and stuff. It's fine. It's actually an easy thing.
That's right.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
NASA supposed to be going to the moon in a couple of years. Remember that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, we do, Hudson.
We
sure.
really,
we remember.
We were hoping Nikki would be the one that would get to go.
Oh, my gosh. They'd be like, first off, they'd have to cut the feed. Because it'd be embarrassing.
Oh, come on.
Even if I got to wear one of the new NASA spacesuits, that actually might make it worse. I don't want to wear that.
No, well, now you can't wear one of the new spacesuits. Even if you wanted to, you couldn't, because the new spacesuits are delayed, which is calling into question whether they will actually be able to do the moon landing in 2024.
Oh, do they have to have these suits to do it?
Apparently, they're. This is an inspector general report says the lunar grade astronaut suits are behind schedule.
As is everything else.
Yeah, they're actually having a lot of other delays, and it's not even just NASA. It's just everywhere. We're all having supply delays, and because of that, if they can't get the suits ready in time, I mean, the astronauts got to wear something.
They do. They have to, so they can't wear the old ones?
Yeah, I guess that's what I was wondering, too. Just get them out of the museum or whatever.
I'm sure
Go
they
to
can
the Smithsonian, break them out, and just use the old ones. They They were good enough for the astronauts in 1969.
Well, they
Are we too good for that now?
Maybe they've been compromised, like you need to have new ones. I'm not sure, but NASA's on track to
Ralph
spend...
Lauren didn't design them or whatever.
Like for the Olympics?
Right.
To spend more than $1 billion on spacesuit development by the time these two suits are ready. They said it would be April 2025 at the earliest. So because of these delays, that's, down the road then at that point. NASA's trying to get astronauts, to the surface of the moon for the first time since 1972.
What, have they not had enough time to plan?
You know things like, what are we gonna complain about this and then you can't get chicken wings? Like everybody's just, and the movies get pushed for 2 more years. Like everything's just delayed. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, people always used to say, like if some simple thing wasn't working, you'd be like, they can put a man on the moon, but they can't make an oven mitt that doesn't get burn me when it gets wet or something,
Well, NASA's already spent $420 million. I'm hearing a lot of big numbers.
Yeah.
Since 2007, but they need more. They say that the suit's design and purpose has changed repeatedly over the years. And NASA's priorities in space change usually with new administrations. And the spacesuit needs to be tailored for its upcoming designs for what we want to do on the moon. So the spacesuit really needs to go with it, which is why we can't really use the old one from the 70s.
So somebody's coming in and saying, what, the spacesuit, I guess we had a plan in place. We had a suit that we were working on, and now it's like, well, actually, we have a different plan, and so they have to come up with a different suit. Is that what I'm hearing?
That seems to be the issue. It changes with people as they come and go in the space program, and now they're just delayed, so one day they'll get there.
Yeah, so now that, like I said, now that people can't say the man on the moon thing anymore. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, I can't be mad about that because they're not able to put a man on the moon anymore. Well, I know they did it once, but they can't anymore, so I can't be upset.
If you never thought you could associate with NASA in any way, you have to feel like, some days I feel like I have nothing to wear. But NASA, they literally have nothing for the astronauts to wear.
And they have to have so many meetings and all kinds of design. They just go over things millions and millions of times. So that sounds like a horrible job, doesn't it?
Not just because of this.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons.
Be in space.
And you're an astronaut and you just want to go, and they're like, no, we don't have clothes for you.
Dude, I'd go in the meeting and be like, can I just wear leggings? Please just let me wear leggings into space.
It'll be fine.
I'll risk whatever happens.
It'll be comfortable at least.
No, if I have a problem, I'll at least not be upset because I'm wearing the suit.
Yeah! You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You're a connoisseur of Asian culture, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
So are you familiar with Japanese toilet shoes?
Well, the toilets are like something. But I didn't know they have their own shoes that come with them.
You didn't know?
I didn't know this.
Neither did I, but apparently it is a long-standing thing. The story goes that before we had our Western toilet style, Japanese style toilets, they're more simple, right? Like they're just kind of a lower hole in the ground type of thing. Like
now they're very much advanced.
Yes, right.
So now they're all the bells and whistles.
But traditionally before that, and still in many Japanese homes, there is a different style of toilet that I guess is lower to the ground. Some would call it here a squatty potty, according to this, because you really would have to squat down.
Which I don't have the leg muscles for. So.
It feels like that wouldn't be very accessible to a lot of
not
people.
for us.
But another issue that comes with that is it could be a little more messy, which is why in Japan, toilet slippers are a thing, a tradition. You would have a pair of shoes, if not more than one, maybe more for your different family members, that would sit around the bathroom. And then when you had to go, you put on the toilet slippers.
And everybody knew you were going to the bathroom.
Yeah, everybody knew.
You're like, where are you going? Nothing.
I hope you forget to take them off.
Yeah,
then you
wear
come
them
back.
out.
Yeah, that really defeats the purpose. Well, now, again, like you mentioned, their toilets have advanced. Now they have, in many cases, even fancier toilets than we do here with the bidets and everything.
Ours to shame.
Yeah, we're really behind on the toilet technology in the United States, and it's pathetic, really. that we don't take that more seriously.
So are slippers still, or are they becoming popular even if you have the more modern toilet?
Well, that's the question. And there was actually a recent survey done of 2,000 Yahoo Japan users
They're
about
still using Yahoo, though.
whether,
That you need your own slippers for.
yeah, right. You don't want to track that around. Well, they asked whether slippers are still necessary for household toilets in Japan.
Yeah.
61% said yes. So 38% said no.
Basically, they just think it's unsanitary to not have them.
Yep.
But
75% of people said, that said that you do need to use them, said you should use them because they are
it'd be rude
sanitary.
not to.
Yeah.
In Japan, in other areas, like slippers are a thing. You wouldn't wear your shoes in the house.
Right.
That's common. So you must have to have a few pairs of slippers in designated areas.
Yeah. Some people said that they
You have
don't.
your house slippers.
Yeah. They said that they actually will have. They don't want to share their house, their toilet slippers. They don't want to share them with guests, so they have to have a separate set for if they have people coming over. Or I mean, just bring your own.
Yeah, I guess. Just have them there.
BYOTS. Bring your own toilet slippers.
Again, I'm very aware of the house slippers, but I didn't know they had the toilet ones as well. And is that going to be a thing here? Like, we just don't have slippers like everybody else does.
It doesn't matter what kind of toilet you have. There definitely can be some splashback, you could say. So you don't want to track that around everywhere. You don't just need toilet slippers. You need toilet like rain boots. They should come up to your knees.
You should put
waders. You need waders to go into.
Have you ever been to Niagara Falls and you take the boat ride and they give you the plastic poncho? You just have to have that around your whole area.
You have that. Yeah, that's
just put the poncho on the toilet.
It's sanitary, and then you hang it up in the bathroom when you're done. But the funny thing is, so of course, like we said, 61% of people think they still need the toilet slippers, but like 50% of people said that they clean them.
The slippers?
Like that's it. 50% of people said they clean them.
Well, I would
so the other, so you're just taking your bathroom slippers in. You take your bathroom slippers in. They get all of any kind of remnants on them. Anything that misses the mark, and then they just never get washed.
Okay. I am starting to wonder, like, what's going on?
Yeah, really.
I don't think there should be that much of a problem, but if you have toilet slippers, then that is something to think about if you're worried about the cleanliness of it.
If you have them, you might as well wash them.
The riot isn't all bad, but this is the worst of the riot. RadioU.
We all know that there's all kinds of supply chain issues. Shortages are going around. Restaurants are having a tough time. They've got a shortage, not just of workers, but a lot of times of all the different food items that they need. And McDonald's, God love them, they've been doing a pretty good job of... What?
I don't know. What? I don't know why. That just seemed very, like, grown up.
Yeah. God love them. That's always that's something you say before you're just about to totally
Something
dump on
else is
somebody.
bad.
But it should be a good thing. But I guess it's just saying that God loves them even despite all of their terrible, terrible failures.
Which I don't think do they have a lot?
No, I was going to say.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, right. McDonald's is just like any one of us.
Are all the same.
But McDonald's, I was just going to say, for all the other restaurants having their issues, McDonald's has done a pretty good job of keeping at least the supply shortages to a minimum.
Yeah, and
where you haven't noticed that too much.
We haven't noticed it. I think that's the key. There was some little talk of some chicken switches here or there, some this and that. But for the most part, it's at least to public knowledge has been pretty good during some of the other places that have just, looking at you, Taco Bell.
Yeah. If you go to the Taco Bell website, they just have a big banner that says, "We might not have what you want."
Yeah.
So
I went to Starbucks the other day. I was going to, and then I pulled up the app because I was going to order. It was literally almost everything was gone. I was like, well, I just don't think I'll go right now.
Yeah. By the way, anybody who listens to this show, this isn't exactly a new revelation, but the way we talk, you would think that we're constantly just browsing fast food websites and apps. And
We're
the truth is, I was going to say we probably are.
No, not all the time.
I think most of the time.
God love us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's
God
more
love
about
us.
Yeah.
God love us. We're spending a lot of time on TacoBell.com for some reason.
But McDonald's.
This is coming from somebody who's looking forward to most on his vacation going to Bojangles and Cookout. So
Yeah, I know. It's only going to get worse.
this is just what we do.
Well, McDonald's has come out with some news that they are facing a shortage, which may or may not affect if you are a McDonald's user.
Yeah, they still
you might
say-
not notice it.
They still say that they don't think this will be noticeable to many diners, but they are running out and telling restaurants to limit their orders of bags, to-go bags, and straws.
Straws are the other?
I think you're going to notice if they don't have bags. And they just start
Straws?
handing you burger. Here's your one burger. Here's your nuggets.
Catch.
Here's your fry. Yeah.
But straws are easy because they forget to put them in the bag anyways.
Yeah, that's
So they
true.
can just play it off like that. But they say that
Plus,
this is
if you're-
mostly if you're going inside the restaurant.
Yeah.
They're going to stop using bags, which had been a pandemic thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to go back to some areas giving you your food again in McDonald's on a tray.
Yeah, and if they're not giving you the straws, finally your extra straw stash that you've been building up,
You can use
that
it.
and the ketchup packages that you have in a drawer somewhere, it's going to pay off.
Dude, I haven't been inside a McDonald's since I think I was a kid. Like that just seems like how weird would that be?
I've ordered inside a McDonald's recently because I was trying to get free stuff.
Oh, and it's
and the
easier.
app wasn't working as well to put it in online.
There it
was
is.
giving me a lot of guff.
So you went in.
So I went in and said, "Here's the coupon. I want my free sandwich."
Give it to me now.
Yeah, and they were very nice, and they did give me the free sandwich. So,
That's good.
but it looks a lot different than you might remember.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So if you go inside, that's where you might notice it, where they gave everybody a bag for a while, but you'll go back to getting a tray.
Yeah, usually if you're going inside McDonald's, that's a bad sign. It
Something's
means
going
they
on.
probably messed something up, or you're not having a good day. It's just not
I
good.
always think it's for like the older people who want to go in and sit down and,
and
just
drink
like
the
drink the
senior coffee all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, Sarah just texted. They'll give you like 3 different bags when they could have had given you just one.
That's so true.
Maybe that would be helpful if they didn't. Or, we could bring our own grocery bag and they can just throw it in there.
I've also got a drawer full of those.
Yeah,
so
that'd be perfect.
All the people like me that have been preparing, we've been ready for this moment with our grocery bag drawer and our straw drawer and our ketchup drawer. And the worst is the straw drawers at home. When you don't need the straws at home, you should keep them in the car.
That's right.
What am I doing?
We've got plenty to keep us going.
There's a lot to learn here.
It's the Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, I've got some space news for you.
More space news.
Yeah, and you don't even
Yay.
have to go to space for this one.
What is this one about?
Tonight is the peak of the Perseid meteor shower.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, you're gonna. The fun thing for us is it happens overnight, and when we come in before the sun comes up,
Yeah.
and so we can just watch it while we drive. We
should
don't
we
have
be
to
able
make special plans.
Oh, that's good. Even though I feel like, what is it, light noise? I'm in an area where anything that's fun that's happening by looking up anytime,
Yeah.
I go out and I'll be like, I don't see it.
You can't see it.
I can't see anything.
I always from my house. I always feel that I can see the sky very well.
Oh, you can?
From compared to where I used to live, and I didn't move that far out of town. I'm still really in the city, but for some reason, man, it feels like I'm out in the wilderness.
You're out
and I can
farther.
just see up at the stars.
So peak time for the shower will be tonight and then on Friday, premium viewing hours. They say this.
what is this? The Perseid meteor shower plus?
Yeah, like what am I getting seats for?
They're describing it as if it's a, as if it's a movie or something.
Will be midnight to dawn Thursday morning on the 12th.
You can gain premium
So tomorrow.
access. Premium
Yeah.
access if you stay up past midnight tonight and tomorrow.
Is it just a meteor shower then? Is that what we're looking for?
Oh, just a meteor shower?
I didn't
The
know if
majesty of the cosmos isn't enough for you,
I know.
Nikki?
I just want to make sure I wasn't looking for something else. I want to know ahead of time.
It's meteors.
Okay.
It is shooting
I
stars.
hate space stuff. I
It
don't
is
know.
giant rocks zipping through the sky, millions of miles per hour, probably. I don't know.
So are you-
And it's creating a majestic,
Hey, can I tell you?
otherworldly display.
I have seen more meteor showers in Animal Crossing than in real life. So
that's sad.
I need to just know the details.
You need to step out.
I will go outside. I'll turn my back and I'll do
Why are we...
I'll turn the buttons like I would in Animal Crossing.
These days, it seems that we're all so buried in our Nintendo Switches and our phones that we can't take a moment to look up at the sky and see a beautiful meteor shower.
So it looks like each day the rest of this week, but remember the premium viewing hours will be between midnight and dawn tomorrow. Well, I guess, do they mean tomorrow morning or they mean Friday morning?
Starting tonight, before the sun comes up tomorrow, before the show starts tomorrow, is when we want to be watching it.
So in some areas, they say, like they were pointing out, if you're in the Chicagoland area, 40 to 45, if you count what you could see within that time.
For the rest of the Midwest. So there you go. If you're in the California, like West Coast, is 30 to 40. Basically, you should get at least 30 meteors an hour overnight tonight.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I saw this quote today, and it's something that I feel I talk about fairly often, and it sums it up pretty well, because it's probably somebody a lot smarter than I am. The guy's name is Reverend John Howard Johnson. This is something he wrote during the 50s. I don't know who the guy is. I don't know if he's still alive, but this is what he said. What he wrote is, to insist on focusing attention on the evil in others will not eradicate it from our own lives.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, isn't that?
Oh, because a lot of time, some people like to focus on that.
Yep, I think
as a way to make your look back at yourself sometimes feel better.
The truth is, we all know we have our own failures and our own issues and whatever. But
growing areas.
I think that, obviously it's not a conscious decision most of the time, but we get so caught up in canceling other people or canceling the cancelers. We just get so caught up in the other people and what they're doing. And if we can get them punished for their actions, that's our way of kind of growing and purifying. But the truth is, what we each need to do is find a way to grow ourselves and stop looking so much about other people's issues, because solving their problems and getting their issues out of there and putting them out in the open is not going to solve your own issues. And we all have them. But this is, and something that Reverend John Howard Johnson also, he got to, is that if you want to grow, if you want to change, it's not about looking at other people and seeing what they're doing wrong. It's looking at God and seeing how he can change you. Jesus wants to work in your life. And again, if we're all honest, we all know we have our own failures and our own issues that we need to deal with. And God has a way to address those. Jesus loves you with all of your flaws that are already baked in, and he's not going to get upset with you over that, but he wants to help you grow out of it. Jesus wants to help you change, help you become better than you are right now. And it's not about worrying about other people. It's about worrying about yourself. Jesus is ready to come in and say, I can make things better for you. Stop being so concerned with everyone else, and let's concern yourself with you, because that's the only thing you can control. So start talking to God. Let him come into your life. Say, hey, Jesus, I'm ready for a change. I'm ready to find something different, and I want to find it from you. And let God start talking to you and go from there. And if you want to know more, head to radiou.com/free gift.
What was his quote again? I feel like it deserves a second mention.
It is to insist on focusing attention on the evil in others will not eradicate it from our own lives.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.